is your host, Luke Anderson.
Hey, hey, hey! Happy hump day, all you beautiful radio listeners. What an exciting day for any Northwest baseball fans. Anybody excited about the Mariners? Anybody excited about the Blue Jays? You can be excited about the Dodgers? I don't care, man. This is awesome. I am pumped. Very happy to have Mr. Jeff Rust back with us. How were your early mornings earlier this week, young man?
I am not a morning person.
What?
Yeah. And it doesn't help the fact that I am not a coffee drinker either.
Neither am I. But
I come in here with my water bottle, my Mio Energy squeeze that I squeeze in there. So
Yeah.
that's how I handle my caffeine in the
well,
building.
you survived and you're back with us. Whoa, let's
back.
go. Yeah, baby. Back.
I'm back.
Yeah, I heard it.
Steven Tyler, baby.
Oh, I know who it is. We need to get that, just the isolated vocal of that.
There we go.
Maybe that can be your rally cry. I am not normally a coffee drinker, but my wife, we came back from Italy last spring, 2024, and she had a hankering for some tiramisu. But tiramisu in Italy, a little different. It's more of like a parfait versus like the cake that you get out here in a lot of places.
Right. With
So she just
what is it,
decided-
lady fingers or something in there.
Well, the lady fingers
oh, no,
are
I
in
got
the-
you.
yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So the lady fingers are in the parfait, but some people out here make it as kind of like a sponge cake. It's
Yes.
not the same thing.
Understood.
So
Yeah.
she decided she was going to make the parfait herself because she couldn't find one that she liked. So she started making it, but she grabs like the little Starbucks espresso in a can,
Mm-hmm.
and she uses that to make them. But she usually has a couple cans left over. I've actually tried them. I kind of like them. I might be becoming a coffee guy. I'm not there yet, but I've had a few over the last handful of months.
Yeah.
And this morning I didn't have my other go-to, so I grabbed one of those. Pretty good.
Yeah,
Pretty
it's like the slightest hint of coffee flavor just turns me off.
I used to be the same way. Went to England, and I was like, I should probably try tea. I am in England, and got on board. I was like, okay, give me some Earl Grey, a little English breakfast, add a little milk, add some honey, a little lemon. The whole ritual. My wife and I will occasionally find a place in Portland or on vacation, get some tea, the little finger sandwiches. Delightful. You put the cucumber and cream cheese on a little bit of white bread, cut off all the crust. I feel like a little kid, and then I'm sipping the tea. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at
Absolutely.
it. I'm going to tell you that they throw a little dill into the cream cheese.
Ooh,
the whole
there
thing,
you go.
the whole thing, the whole little ritual of that was fine. So then when we went to Italy, I'm like, maybe we should go get some cappuccinos and try some espressos and whatever. Didn't take it.
Yeah.
I was hoping that it would. I was like, let's go to where they have defined the art of XYZ beverage. And just, it didn't take, but now I'm not opposed. I will say that the little hint of coffee flavor, like coffee ice cream used to, why would you do that?
Right, yeah.
I can do that too.
Yeah.
And I'm doing these little, and it's espresso with cream, so it's a sweet little drink.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, my 13-year-old daughter, she's discovered the, you'll find like in the refrigerated beverage section at the grocery store, there are different coffee drinks, but they are like Snickers flavor.
Ooh.
Twix.
Yeah.
She's discovered those. She likes those. But if I go hit a Starbucks or a Dutch Brothers, I'm a chai guy.
Chai guy.
I'm a chai guy.
I haven't really done too much chai every once in a while, but yeah.
I dig a good chai.
I'm
What's
picking
nice
up what
about the
you're putting
Dutch Bros too is that I'll go there and I'll get it with half skim milk and half chocolate milk, because their chocolate milk that they use there is like, it's so thick it's almost like a melted milkshake or like a melted Frosty. But yeah, you get a little chocolate chai. Oh, daddy.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, there's something going on. A couple little updates for the show. One, I should have probably been doing this all along, but in case you don't have it, if this is the only program on the Fan that you listen to, you can go ahead and text into the show. We always wrap up our last segment with comments. So if you want to send us any questions, comments on something that we made, if you just want to send a taco salad recipe to Chef Rust back there, or a chai tea recipe that he can make at home, whatever you want to send it in. If it appeals to us, we'll get to it at the end of the show. So whatever you want to do, the number 503-864-6326, or TOGO fan. That's To Go Fan.
To Go
503 To Go Fan.
Also, if you are a Chai guy and you go to the Dutch Bros, try a White Christmas.
A white Christmas.
A White Christmas. It is a white chocolate chai breve.
Well, I'll tell you what. Maybe you and I will have to share one of those,
That's a good
or
one.
each get one for the holiday
Get
season.
like some
I'm
peppermint
okay. But
sprinkles on there.
I don't. The thing about not being a coffee guy,
Mhm.
I don't really ever go to Dutch Brothers. I don't think I've ever been to a Dutch Brothers.
Mhm.
I will occasionally go to a Starbucks to meet somebody. It always feels like there's always a Starbucks nearby,
Uh-huh.
and they've got the nice little seating area. So I've done that on occasion.
Yeah.
I can't tell you that I've ever been into a Dutch Brothers. So if you bring me in, if it's a white Christmas, I feel like it has to be holiday season.
Mhm.
I will repay you with a beverage in kind.
Yeah.
But I'd be down to try it.
In my old days, when I did the early mornings for a few months, I like literally would drive a couple miles out of the way to go hit the Dutch Brothers at 4:30 in the morning and get myself a chai or a White Christmas.
You could go to a different coffee shop, but they're not going to load it with sugar, so you don't want to do that.
You can't get a White Christmas at Starbucks.
This is what I'm hearing.
You can't.
I'm trying to
Starbucks also doesn't
reinforce your
carry-
point.
Starbucks also doesn't carry chocolate milk. They only have the chocolate syrup to make it a mocha and stuff. It's not
Just
the
get
same.
out of here. I'm
Yeah.
not. This is. It sounds like that's a place to go.
Yeah. So you're welcome, Dutch Brothers, for all the free press.
There you have it. The other important show update that I wanted to get to is the podcast for the Fan Happy Hour.
Yes.
Is about to take off because we finally have a page.
We finally got our page.
We have not promoted it because it has not existed.
It has been a process.
Apparently, happy hour is a fairly common phrase that has turned into a fairly common podcast. So there's a little
okay.
bit of hoops to jump through to make sure that nobody was using the Fan Happy Hour, which
Okay.
no one was. So we
Right.
eventually got that. So when we first rolled things over, little hush hush on the, hey, we're flipping to FM around here. Didn't want everybody in the market to know about it. And then they went a little hush hush on the new lineup. So I knew we were doing this show. I don't even think you knew we were doing this show until
Nope.
like a week out.
Yeah.
And then you can't put in a bunch of requests for changes to the podcast thing without people getting alerted.
Yes.
We
Gotta
we
put in
bought
a ticket.
we bought the domain 1051 The Fan,
Mm-hmm.
and that alerted some people, and we started getting phone calls. So they kind of
Ah.
went like, so then we get the show, and then it took a while to do that. Then apparently it was created incorrectly, and there was a whole thing. Anyways,
That's like people
Dusty
watching all the
Hara
flight
has
logs
been
for
working
coaching
on it.
changes, right?
yeah, well, it's things can't always be as simple.
Yes.
Third programming update. I'm very excited. I think we have it all worked out.
Ooh.
I will be on the air tomorrow, but
Ooh.
I will not be in Portland. I will
Ooh.
be broadcasting from Odyssey, Seattle,
Okay.
and then going right over to the ballpark after the broadcast to
Excellent.
watch Game 4, Blue Jays Mariners.
Hey, good for
Let's
you. Nice.
go.
Very nice.
It is going to be very, very exciting.
Yes.
And I mean, if you are a fan of baseball, it looks like there is a collision course en route
Mm-hmm.
between the Dodgers and the Mariners for the
Yeah.
World Series. So this
Knock on
is
wood.
this is only the second time in Major League Baseball history that you have both road teams that have won the first two games of a championship series. The only other time, it was still 5-game series. It was in 1970s,
Mm-hmm.
1970.
Gotcha.
The Reds took out somebody. Can't remember who it was now. The Orioles took out the
It
Twins,
wasn't the Brewers,
and
I know
the
that.
Reds, the Reds went there. I was going to try to do it off of memory. I had it written down somewhere. Let me see if we can track that down for you. It's not that consequential, but it is interesting. This just really has not happened. So to
Yeah.
have both of them on the road, and then this has happened 28 times where you've had the road team take a 2-0 victory in a 7-game series.
Mhm.
24 of those teams, 25 of those teams have won. So
Yeah.
you've got just a big lead right now.
Yep.
The Dodgers have pitched 1 inning from the bullpen
Wow.
in the entire series.
Yeah.
Yamamoto went complete game yesterday.
Mhm.
Blake Snell went 8 innings yesterday. He was the first guy to go 8 innings with facing the minimum since Don Larson
Larson.
had a perfect game in
I
the
think
World
they
Series.
are the only two in postseason history.
That's what.
The
Yeah,
only-
that's what I'm saying.
The only
yeah,
two.
Well, yeah, Don Larson was one, and he had the complete perfect
Yes,
game.
yes.
And then Blake Snell number 2. So
Yeah.
to face a minimum through 8 innings, so it is a pretty rare achievement.
Pretty good.
The big trouble that the Dodgers have had all year is their bullpen. I mean, even in game 1, it got dicey. The one inning that they had, it went down to bases loaded with a 1-run lead and got very close, but they looked very good last night because they didn't have to go to the bullpen. So this whole thing is feeling very electric. You and I haven't been doing the show together. How is your baseball level, Mr. Baseball Rust?
No, I'm excited. Listen, I have watched more baseball these in the playoffs than I did all season combined, like by a lot. It feels like I don't want.
No, I appreciate it.
I don't want to
Because
put the cart ahead of the horse, and I
Yep.
don't want to put too much emphasis on the wrong syllable.
There is a 0% chance you can say anything that Schultze and I haven't gone over in the last 2 days of him and I doing the show together, of every Mariners fan in the country, of new bandwagon fans. You're not going to jinx the team.
Right. And
So
so
I don't think it comes back to you if you do. So go ahead with what you don't be nervous.
I don't want to get too hyperbolic, but
Go nuts!
It does just kind of feel like it's their year. It feels like a team of destiny.
It really does. It very much does, and it feels
It feels
like
like
the
a-
right combination of veterans and that they've added and homegrown talent.
Yes.
We have the clip. We have the clip later, and I don't think you and I have discussed. Well, we have not discussed the clip,
Okay.
but you downloaded the clip. But there is a very funny perspective
Yes.
on this Mariners team from people that haven't followed it. I have been a Mariners fan my entire life, but over the last few years, them making the playoffs in 2022, the rookie of the year with Julio Rodriguez, the addition of now superstar power hitter Cal Raleigh really coming into his own this season. I have been all in on this team, but there are so many good personalities. The fact that you have the connection back to the 2001 team with Dan Wilson as the coach, and this is another thing. Managerial changes and coaching changes when the team is pretty good.
Yeah.
They get rid of, their manager in the middle of the season last year. They put in a guy that doesn't have a ton of coaching experience.
Just vibes, man.
And vibes do work. I mean, Scott Service didn't have the vibe. I've told this story before, but it is one of my
Vibeless.
absolute favorite stories, and this will define the vibeless nature of Scott Service. Somebody asked J.P. Crawford where the trident came from.
Okay.
And JP, I wish I could find this. Maybe we'll look for it and see if we can find it. J.P. Crawford goes into this long explanation of how they had to go to the bottom of the Puget Sound and find Neptune and fight him with fervor and vitriol to take the trident from him as a sign of victory, and they brought it to the surface, and now it represents the victory of the Mariner over the sea.
Sure. Works for me.
Somebody goes to Scott Service and goes, "Hey, we heard quite the story. So, what's your version of where the trident came from?" And he goes, "I think it was Amazon or something." That is why he's no longer your manager. I know the baseball things and all of that stuff, but in my heart of hearts, I'd like to think that is the reason he is no longer the manager. You okay?
Yeah, no, it's sorry. That one killed me.
Yeah, that's what
I don't know,
that's
go
what
on,
I'm
or
here
something.
for. Let's go to In Case You
Oh, boy.
Missed
Hang
it.
on, I'm not ready for the
You
music.
never are.
There we
Yeah,
go.
there you go.
I usually am, but yeah.
All right. In case you missed it, Pope Leo was getting some trash talk. Apparently, the devoted White Sox fan was trolled by Cubs fans who were shouting at him in Vatican City. The Pope yelled back, "Hans perdido." Do you know what that means?
I do, because I already saw this tweet.
He said they have lost. Jeff Rust, if this happened to you, how long would it take you to get a shirt printed that said the Pope called me a loser? That be?
There we go.
Yeah. The C in called could be the Cubs sign. Maybe you should get one anyways.
There we go.
That would be fantastic. In case you missed it, a lawsuit has been filed against the Ohio High School Athletic Association a challenge of its ban on NIL profits for high school athletes. Ohio apparently is one of 6 states that does not allow high school athletes to benefit from their name, image, and likeness. This centers around a Ohio State commit wide receiver Jameer Brown. Brown's apparent earning potential has been cited at more than $100,000 per year, and his insufferability potential is limitless. So, could you imagine? He's a class of 2027 commit to Ohio State.
Yeah.
Could you imagine a sophomore in high school getting paid $100,000?
Well, and we talked about this a little bit in the firm earlier. As a prospective coach, trying to recruit this kid, does the fact that he's already that concerned about the money, is that a major red flag?
Again, there's 6 states, Ohio and 5 others that do not allow it. So you can see that there's some, interest in getting this overturned for Ohio, which is a football crazy state.
Right.
So it is weird when you're one of the outliers, but you're also 2 NFL teams, the largest public university that has the football team that means more than anything in the world. I mean, the way they traveled to Washington when I was up there, it is weird that Ohio would be one of them. It would be like if Ohio, Texas, Georgia, and Florida were the states that didn't have it. I don't know what the others are, but it wouldn't make a ton of sense.
Understood. Makes sense.
That's kind of where I sit with that. According to sources, the decision to fire Coach Brian Callahan from the Tennessee Titans was made because the team was worried that he would get whooped up on by former Titans coach Mike Vrabel when the Patriots show up in town this week. They fired him because they were afraid of Mike Vrabel come and embarrassing him. That's like peeing your pants so the bully doesn't punch you in the crotch, isn't it? So the Titans fired Vrabel because they were intimidated, because he intimidated the ownership, and now they fired Callahan to avoid embarrassment by Vrabel. They went from reactionary cowardice to proactive cowardice. Is that considered progress?
You ain't cool unless you pee your pants.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. Former NFL quarterback Mark Sanchez was stabbed, later arrested in Indiana, and accused of accosting a 69-year-old truck driver outside a hotel. We've heard from his ex-girlfriend, who stated that none of the charges were, quote, surprising. Apparently he was into role reversal, and he got stabbed all the time. No? I feel like there's a butt fumble joke in there somewhere, but I don't want to go looking for it. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Maybe if we were a nighttime show.
We need to get to the Daily Buzz. We do it next. It's Happy Hour on 105.1 The Fan.
trending topics, and trivial matters that got our attention. It's the Daily Buzz on the Fan Happy Hour.
The Buzz.
Here's your host, Luke Anderson.
The Mariners are hosting the Blue Jays Game 3 ALCS. The Blue Jays trail 0-2 coming out of their little homestand to start. Not a great position to be if you're the Blue Jays. They do have back-to-back Cy Young winners that they're going to throw in games 3 and 4. Shane Bieber, who's coming off a injury-riddled season, and Max Scherzer tomorrow.
Maybe we should ask the Detroit Tigers what it's like to lean on a Cy Young winner to get you through a playoff series.
He was pretty good.
He was pretty good.
He was pretty good in
They
those
still beat
games.
him.
They did twice. Well, he didn't get the loss in both games, but he did not win a game, which
They
is
beat
very...
the Detroit Tigers in the games
They
in which he was the starting pitcher.
I know that baseball has some nuance to it, so I wasn't trying to poo-poo what you were saying. I just
Yes.
wanted to be factually correct.
Nuance? What's that?
I know, you're a sledgehammer, and I just need to make it. But here's the thing that you need to know is on the other side, you've got some pretty good arms going as well. Furious George Kirby going tonight
That's a great
for the
nickname.
Mariners. It is a fantastic
great.
nickname.
Yes.
So George Kirby is 7. He's got a 7.0 strikeout to walk ratio. He has 14
Sounds pretty
strikeouts
good.
and 2 walks as a postseason pitcher. He went head-to-head with Tarek Skubal in that deciding game 5. He gave up he gave up nothing.
Mm-hmm.
His replacement came up and gave a two-run home run to Kerry Carpenter. In his previous start against the Tigers, he also gave up a 2-run home run himself to Kerry Carpenter.
Yes.
So Kerry Carpenter not playing for the Blue Jays. So
There we
I feel
go.
very good about this.
That's a good
But
sign.
George has been fantastic. Tomorrow you're going to get Luis Castillo. This game is interesting because the ballpark really does lean on pitching. It is not a hitter-friendly ballpark.
No.
The Mariners had a wonderful offensive outpouring in Game 2, but in a tight game in Game 1, it really comes down to the bullpen, and I think that's where the even bigger advantage is for the Mariners. Their bullpen has been fantastic.
I am excited for the matchup tomorrow, though, too, with Castillo, because it's Max Scherzer going for the Jays.
Yeah, I did say back-to-back Cy Young winners.
Oh, okay,
so
yes,
so Bieber
apologies.
and Scherzer. No, you're perfectly fine. And Scherzer, one of the few Cy Young winners. I'd have to check if he's the only one with 2 different colored eyeballs. So that always makes it fun.
Safe bet he's probably the only one.
Yeah. But I can tell you that the Mariners crowd is going to be absolutely electric. And I don't know how many people have already printed or are working on it, but I think I have to make one for my sister-in-law who will be attending the game with me tomorrow. But a hip, hip Jorge shirt should be in rotation of everybody's because Jorge Polanco has been absolutely amazing in the entire playoffs.
Yes, he has.
We're going to get...
He's making himself some money this postseason.
There's no question about it. We talked about this yesterday, so I don't need to get into it. But the big offseason criticism of the Mariners, all they did was re-sign Jorge Polanco. He's one of the few guys that got rest all year between Randy Arozarena, Julio Rodriguez, and Cal Raleigh. I think they were all among the most innings played at their position. Also, J.P. Crawford at shortstop. So
Gotcha.
your left fielder, your center fielder, your shortstop, and your catcher are among the highest innings by position of anybody in Major League Baseball. Of
Victor
course,
Robles definitely got some rest.
when going out in April and coming back in, would have been August if he didn't throw a bat at a minor league pitcher. Coming back in September. Definitely got some rest. Your
Yes.
corner infielders were replaced at the trade deadline, so you don't have to worry about that. And there was a rotating cast of characters at second base, but your primary positions, I mean, that's a pretty big deal. So
Yeah.
Jorge Polanco, one of those guys that got rest, but Cal's been really good in the playoffs. I know his home run numbers aren't jumping off the page. He's got a couple in the playoffs.
The batting
but he's
average one
getting
is, though.
a lot of base hits, and
Yes.
he's been very good, and he's scoring runs. He's getting walked. Julio Rodriguez has gotten big walks and big opportunities. So
It just feels like this whole team right now, it just feels like a big, if not now, when.
if there's one thing I could say to sum up how I feel about this team, it would be, am I right?
Thank you, Eddie.
Am I right?
The Buzz.
All right, let's go over to the Seattle Seahawks. A couple interesting stats that came across my feed this week that I just wanted to share. Seattle has one of the best defenses in the league.
Mhm.
Their DVOA, defensive value above average,
Okay.
is the highest of any 4-2 team since 1978.
Holy catfish!
I don't know what that means.
Well, I guess my guess is it means the defense is pretty good.
That is exactly what I'm thinking.
That's what we call analysis.
They are in the top 5 for offense, for defense, and number 1 in special teams for their DVOA rating. So their defined value above average. So they are number 4 in offense, number 4 in defense, and first in special teams. They also have the second highest point differential in the league at -49 or +49. I'm sorry, negative would be bad.
Yeah.
+49. I wrote it to myself with a dash in it because I'm an idiot. And so they are one of the statistically most efficient teams passing. Jackson Smith-Njigba leads the league in receiving yards.
Yes.
Nobody throws the ball less than the Seattle Seahawks.
Wow.
Their pass rate is 50.3%.
I believe I heard this morning too on everybody's favorite morning show that Sam Darnold is currently, I'm trying to remember this stat correctly, on throws of like over 20 yards. Sam Darnold has the second highest completion percentage in the league at like 70-some%.
We were looking
and
at
the league average is like 40-something.
Yeah, we were looking at it with passes with 10 or more air yards.
Is that what it was? Okay.
I think is what I saw, which was
Gotcha.
very similar to that. JSN has accounted for 47% of the team's receiving yards, the most in the NFL. And he leads the NFL despite them being the least passing team. So this whole thing is great. And we talked about this a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
They are running the ball more frequently, and they're at the bottom of the league for rush average, but that does not seem to be detrimental to anybody looking at the last few years. We did this little exercise a few years ago. So if they can continue to be highly effective when they pass and not required to pass a ton, this is a very good sign, especially when the defense is absolutely killing it.
And what's amazing with JSN is that as a slot receiver who does not he's not exactly a speedster.
Well, they move him around quite a bit, and he's pretty fast.
Yes, but
he's
still though they're still able to go over the top to him, and he still is able to beat guys.
He is not known for his size. He is not necessarily known for his speed. He is just outstanding. And I'm going to say this. I know he only got his first touchdown pass this last week. Cooper Kupp, from everything that I've heard or read about his impact on this team from an off-field standpoint, because you have Torrey Horton Jr., who has been really good to start the season as well as a rookie, especially a fifth-round pick rookie. Apparently, Cooper Kupp's practice habits, he spends more time than any receiver in the league in the quarterback room, and he just makes sure that he understands the offense really well. So to have somebody that comes in as a veteran to contribute to the team, he hasn't been bad. He just hasn't, been the Cooper Kupp that we remember before all the injuries. Yeah, totally. But the impact that he has on somebody that has equivalent talent or possibly more raw talent in JSN and certainly in Torrey Horton Jr., I think just what a great signing.
Yeah,
and
hell of a locker room guy.
And then I saw a headline that said, where did DK Metcalf go? Remind me one more time.
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
The headline said, Pittsburgh desperate for wide receiver help. Oh, can I tell you how much I loved that? I don't think I have the words.
The Buzz.
Portland Trailblazers completed their third preseason game, a loss to the Warriors. I would give you a big update on everything that I watched in that game, but let's be honest, who cares?
The Buzz.
I forgot there was one.
It's preseason. They're through 3. First game next Wednesday, so we're a week away from the opening regular season game for the Blazers.
But apparently Donovan Clingan had himself a nice little game.
Then we can get into it. Yeah. Preseason. Yeah. Preseason. You gonna put a lot of stock into it?
Absolutely not.
All right.
The Buzz.
Regular season hockey underway. 3 straight games with points for the Kraken. They did lose in overtime to the Habs, but
I don't care.
Whoa, easy does it.
The Buzz.
That's literally all I was going to say
okay.
about it. No, I just going to give you an update. It's just a score update. I was actually seeing how long it would take until you jumped into that.
Did not
but
take long, did it?
No, it did not. I was going to see if I could sneak it through the 5-hole, and it did not work. Gold Glove announcements were made. Center fielder for your Seattle Mariners, Julio Rodriguez, is on that list. The biggest snub that was brought up is Platinum Glove winner Cal Raleigh, not in the top 3 for the Gold Glove award at catcher. Outside of that, these are just candidates, but that was a big talking point. And here's my thing. I will trade every single individual award, and I think I could speak for Cal Raleigh as well.
Oh, yeah.
If Aaron Judge wins the MVP and you hoist a World Series trophy, who
Suck it, Yankees.
cares? That is a fair assessment.
I do wonder, though, didn't I believe I heard that it was at some point in the postseason where Cal Raleigh finally gave up his first pass ball.
He did just the other night. It was in game 1.
No, I feel like that's a fairly good defensive metric for a catcher.
Listen, there's some really good defensive backstops in this league, and if you don't win a Gold Glove every year, yes, it's boo-hoo, but again, I will trade every single. The guy has a platinum glove under his belt, and I think we're going to be just fine.
Yeah.
Alejandro Kirk is on that list. He is playing in the American League Division Series with us. I don't know who else is on that list, but none of them are playing for this.
Right.
Cal Raleigh has a 2-0 lead on Kirk. So
Patrick did note too that one of his Cleveland Guardians is a finalist for a Gold Glove, and they released him in August.
Well, the Gold Glove is not the end-all, be-all, I guess, is my point. So we need to walk over to the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk and see what we missed.
This update brought to you by Reynolds Defense Firm. If you've been arrested for DUI, you need a team of attorneys into whom you can place your trust. Call Reynolds Defense Firm today, online at reynoldsdefensefirm.com. Luke, your Los Angeles Chargers are unveiling a new Charger Power uniform this weekend. All yellow. Yellow jersey, yellow pants, blue socks. You got the white numerals with some blue trim. You got the white helmet with the bolts, the yellow bolt with the blue trim on that. Thoughts, sir?
You sent me the thing, and I pulled it up on here. It's a picture of Justin Herbert standing next to a very cheesy sky background on what is obviously artificial turf.
I think they went to JCPenney for that.
It's very JCPenney-y.
Which is perfect for the Chargers.
I will reserve. We would have used our home field, but it's not really our home field. It's a ramp.
Exactly.
I'm going to reserve judgment until I see it on the field. I have a hunch that I will not like it, but I will reserve judgment because they do look different. I will say the black unis that the Commanders rolled out on Monday night.
That is a good look.
I really liked it. And just the gold bar above and below the nameplate
and
on the
numerals
back.
on the helmet.
I mean, the whole thing. Yes. I really like that look. If you put it in a studio, I don't know if I would have felt the same. But especially in the rain, playing that game. I hope I like the Seahawks new Decibel uniforms or whatever the hell they're called. the sound. I really hope that I like those on the field.
Yeah.
Because I will tell you that my initial enthusiasm.
I don't think I've seen those.
Okay, so they released the little video clip. Really liked them. I've been to Seattle a couple times this year, once for a Seahawks game. A lot of people wearing them. And I'm telling you, like a fat dad from Snohomish rocking that does not give me as much vigor and excitement for them as it does when you see the guys actually roll out in them. So I'm a little more concerned about those than I initially was.
I have a feeling this Chargers uniform, this Charger Power uni, there's not going to be a whole lot of in between. I think people will probably either love it or hate it.
I think I tend to agree, but like I said, I'll reserve judgment until I see it on the field.
More sports scores and stories in 60 Minutes with Schultze. I'm Jeff Russ from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for Seahawks football. The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM. It's Wednesday on the Fan Happy Hour with Luke Anderson. Time for the subtext. We've got the clips, but what were they really saying? Let's listen in. Let's listen in. Let's listen in. Let's listen in. Let's listen in.
Our linemen did a great job, and that's where it starts. I think I'm one of the best when I get the time and I can deal it out. And our O-line did amazing this game. When that happens, Kels is calling a great game, and our receivers running really good routes. We've been getting better at practice every week, and I think that's where you see the growth. But yeah, it really starts with him.
Well, Luke, that is Houston Texans quarterback C.J. Stroud, and we're going to file that one in the not my fault department. Is that C.J. Stroud just throwing his O-line under the bus?
Oh my gosh, I love that so much. I just sent you the clip and didn't put any context to it. That is exactly what I heard him say, going, guys, if you give me time, I'm one of the best. But you're terrible. Don't do any of that. Here's my favorite part about that. The Seahawks sacked Trevor Lawrence 7 times last week. Mm-hmm. The Seahawks pressured him 17 times. Do you know who the Houston Texans play on Monday night?
I have a guess. The Seattle Seahawks.
At the Seattle Seahawks.
Yes.
I feel like we might have a home victory coming up for the first time all year.
Oh, really?
I don't think they've won at home yet. They lost to Tampa. They lost to San Francisco. They won at Pittsburgh. They won at Jacksonville. Maybe they won at home. They had to have won. The Saints were at home. They beat the Saints.
Seahawks, 1-2 at home.
Yeah, they beat the Saints.
Yeah.
So here comes another home victory. But that was very much, guys, you stink, I'm awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I've just always enjoyed watching him throw the ball. I mean, he's got one of the prettiest balls, tight spiral, great deep ball thrower. He is one of the, kind of the old school 2000s, 90s prototypical quarterbacks. Where so many, even when I was coming in the game, it was the big guys who had the big arms. And now you're seeing, there's some smaller guys. There's obviously some really athletic guys playing that position. And I think he would probably agree with me sometimes when you're watching other guys play, you feel like they're playing a different position because of the kind of athleticism and the way the game is called. There's more read option called. You're seeing more of the college game into the NFL. But I've always enjoyed watching Joe play and have a lot of respect for him and his game.
That there is Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Aaron Rodgers heaping praise on new Bengals quarterback Joe Flacco. But did he get his subtle little dig in there? Because I think he was insinuating basically that Flacco was playing in the late 90s.
Well, I think he's just happy. I think what he's saying is he's happy that there'll be another player in the game on Thursday that will get his 90s references.
There we go.
He's very happy that he can drop in a Friends or a Seinfeld bomb. He can start singing a little Truly, Madly, Deeply, and there'll be somebody that can sing along with him. He's just pumped that he's not the oldest guy out there, and it's somebody that makes him look athletic and makes him look young.
Memberships.
Oh, they'll be out there comparing pictures of grandkids out of their overstuffed wallets and then make the Seinfeld reference about how overstuffed their wallets are. He's just happy to have a contemporary. The average age of all of the quarterbacks Rodgers has played so far this season, 26.6.
Wow.
Joe Flacco is 41.
Yeah.
He's just happy to have somebody on par with him.
Toronto suddenly forgot how to hit a baseball, which makes me think they were probably cheating against the New York Yankees.
Cheating.
And were stealing the Yankee signs.
Well,
and I'll go to my grave believing that.
No credit to Seattle's pitcher?
Because the dude started for Seattle last night was a journeyman, no-name, their 4th or 5th best pitcher.
Yeah.
He was not one of their main guys. And Toronto, outside of the Springer leadoff home run, didn't hit the ball last night. And I'm saying to myself, no, wait a minute. Toronto can't hit the ball against this tool, but when Max Fried is on the mound, he couldn't get out of the 3rd inning against this offense, right?
Yeah.
Made me start thinking, maybe we have another Houston Astros scandal on our hands with those rascals with Toronto.
That comes to us from the Craig Carton Show, with apologies to our YouTube guy, Jake, who is not here to defend himself or his Yankees. Are Yankee fans really resorting to the there's no way they beat us without cheating defense?
I think that is a subtle way of saying, The only team we watch, even when they're playing another team, is the Yankees. I love how unaware of Bryce Miller they were. Bryce Miller was, I believe, 8th in Major League Baseball in ERA last year.
Yeah.
He was injured most of this year.
Journeyman,
So he did
some
not have a
journeyman.
great some journeyman who's only ever pitched for the Seattle Mariners, is 24 years old. Yeah, some bum out there that's their 4th or 5th best pitcher who had an excellent outing. Yeah, so if Max Fried can't strike him out, how's this bum striking him? They're still playing at home. Why would they only cheat against the Yankees? All this does is speak to how
That's why everybody hates the Yankees.
I'm going to be nice, self-centered Yankees.
Yeah.
I don't want to say narcissistic.
That's why everybody hates
That's
the
fair.
Yankees.
Yeah.
Here's a Blue Jay fan who's already left. You said, I'm going to go walk the dogs.
Yeah, I am actually going to walk my dogs, but that's not why I'm leaving. I'm leaving because actually Seattle's a better team. We don't have a prayer.
Wow, that's a Blue Jay fan who is, you're a season ticket holder too.
Yeah, season tickets, pay a fortune, we belong to the club, and I'll keep doing that because I believe in the Blue Jays.
But you don't believe in them this season. You're giving up.
It's not their year. I don't know what happened, but they have frozen solid.
Depending on how you look at it, that is both the best and worst of the old man on the street segment.
It's so good.
But, oh, goodness. But so anyway, that's how Blue Jays fans really feel about this series. Pretty sure you weren't heading out early to walk the dogs during Seattle's 10-3 win in Game 2. But does your hope for a Mariners series win match that fan's doubt for Blue Jays success?
Well, it's funny because it just reminds me that fans are just dumb.
Yeah.
Well, they just are. It's so emotional. You don't know. It's just First of all, leaving any game early is one of like
An LCS game.
My biggest pet peeves, because the only way that the Blue Jays come back in that game is miraculously.
Mm-hmm.
The only game you really want to miss is a miraculous comeback. Now, of course, it didn't happen, and the chances of it happening are 1% or
Right.
whatever the numbers say.
But you wish in one
that's
hand
the
and S in
only
the other.
reason you want to be there is to see something amazing. So
Yeah.
first, she's dumb for leaving the fan. The Mariners were 2-4 against the Blue Jays this season.
Yeah.
Do you know what their record was in T-Mobile? I was almost at Safeco. In T-Mobile Park against the Blue Jays this season? 0-3.
Yikes.
They play the game in May,
Yeah,
but
still.
they played a 3-game series there. Anything can happen. This is baseball. I hate to defend or try to instill some inspiration for Blue Jays fans. This can go any way. You have the best record in the American League. You are playing against a very good team. Yes, and yes, we added pieces. And yes, I think the Mariners are going to win, and I think it's very likely they sweep. That is why I'm committing all of this effort to make sure that I'm there tomorrow. But I am a fan, therefore I am stupid too. Don't trust me. Don't trust her. We watch sports because anything can happen. But the biggest sin she made was leaving the game early.
Yeah, agreed.
We do one more for the road. We do it next. It is the Fan Happy Hour on 105.1 and the Fan Sports Network.
Relax, hot shot.
Welcome back to the Fan Happy Hour. We're about to wrap things up.
Maybe you guys like what I have so far?
Wicked woman, cool creams and misters. You got a good spell on me.
Let's grab one more for the road.
Come on, everybody. Everything's smooth.
Here's Luke Anderson.
All right, we got to go quick. Mr. Russ, what are we getting on the text toy and the YouTube chat?
I just tripped on my run and ate the pavement while decked out in duck gear. Damn if that isn't a metaphor for that Indiana game.
Hopefully, it is the only time you trip and fall this season. Last year's champion lost twice in the regular season in very disappointing fashion and then went and whooped their way through the college football playoffs, so who knows?
And then one quick one from the text line. Why do you thank Rop at the end of every show?
I thought we've gone over this.
Have we?
Yeah, zero reason.
All right.
There's no reason.
That's because he always pops in there at some point.
He came in and I was thanking everybody, and he goes, "How come you don't thank me?" I go, "I could." He goes, "That'd be great."
Yeah, see, there
That's
we
what I
go.
do. Yeah, that's the only.
Look at you, you're a giver.
The only reason. So it will never be addressed again.
Stop asking.
Let's do. Where is it?
There we go.
There's one other text that I wanted to get to. Somebody said that Furious George is not George Kirby. I pulled it up. And Furious George can refer to several different people and things, most notably George Karlaftis, Kansas City Chiefs defensive end, George Karl, NBA coach, and George Kirby. It is also a punk rock band. And there are...
That sounds about right.
Yeah, as it should be, is also used by various other musicians and performers. And there is a character named Furious George in the DC universe. So if you think it's Karlaftis and not Kirby, you are half right. It is Karlaftis, but it is also Kirby, George Karl, punk rock. But here's the most important thing for the road. Let's go Mariners. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you, Jeff Rust, as always. And thank you, Isaac Rupp. We are all done for now. Bye-bye.
And always look on